Once again, I bring you an epic clash of community contributors. Hello, I am Xarkun, and this is World of Warships Legends. Today, in this domination mode battle on the Sea of Fortune map, I am playing the legendary tier American destroyer USS Gearing. And on the enemy team, we have Chili Games 17, Super Unicum, playing the legendary tier French destroyer, Kleber. And you might think that this video is going to be about Kleber versus Gearing, but no. It's more about Xarkun versus Chili Games, albeit not directly. Now, I realize a lot of people, when they spot a community contributor on the enemy team, they feel compelled to go after that community contributor. And often, if you are going to single out one player on the enemy team that you happen to recognize and try to sink them, you may be hurting your own team by focusing solely on sinking that player and not doing things that are conducive to winning the game. So I think both Chili and I in this battle are going to try to do what it takes to contribute to our respective teams' prospects of winning. And that is precisely what you should do if there is a battle and you have a community contributor on the enemy team. In any case, we are located, which likely means that a destroyer is nearby. Can't be Chili because he wouldn't have access to twist and track, but our twist and track seems to indicate that this destroyer is sailing from the right of the screen to the left. So we send some torpedoes out that way. They're kind of triple-purpose torpedoes. They might catch the destroyer, they might catch the Yamato, or they might catch the GK, both of whom are pushing in. But we spot the Fletcher, and the torpedoes, what do you know? They're right on target. We take one shot at the Fletcher, but we are able to tag him with a single torpedo. We take him down, first kill of the game, so we get the first blood medal, and a devastating strike to boot, removing all 18,100 of that Fletcher's hit points. Of course, since the Fletcher spotted those torpedoes in advance before his untimely demise, both the Yamato and GK are easily able to avoid them, although they might have actually hit the Yamato if they weren't spotted in advance. The American destroyer torpedoes, they might not be very fast. Some of them might not have super high alpha strikes, but they are quite stealthy. Now, though, it looks like the GK and Yamato, in absence of any destroyer support, are choosing to push into the Charlie cap. A move I think is probably inadvisable, although the Grosser First is going to catch me making a mistake that I seem to make a lot when I'm in a destroyer facing a GK, and I don't know why. I'm well aware that this behemoth of a German battleship has hydroacoustic search with a long spotting range for enemy ships. Nevertheless, I get caught inside of it. I think the sonar range on the GK might be 6 kilometers, so I am going to have to run a little bit more in order to escape. We've already lost a couple of hit points thanks to being spotted by the Fletcher, but now, we're in a position to lose even more. And the GK secondaries, they're no joke. I think they tagged us there for quite a bit of damage. Don't know if his main guns also got into the fray as well, but he is actually in a much worse position than I ever was. Pushing in like this, he's actually found himself in a bit of a crossfire between the Atago over there to the left of the screen and two friendly battleships over there to the right. He's got his guns aimed at those battleships, and one of them took a huge chunk out of him. So he is not going to be on the surface of the sea much longer. Perhaps if we get lucky, these torpedoes will finish him off, but no. Actually, the Atago's fire finishes him off after he takes another big chunk from one of the battleships. The Yamato is making the same error. He is also pushing into Charlie, now with no support whatsoever. I believe he's the last red ship on this flank, and we're in a position where we can continue to use the smoke screen that we set earlier to farm a little bit of extra damage off this Yamato. He's got his guns pointed this way, which is a bit of a concern, particularly now that we are spotted, but it looks like he has no real interest in shooting at us. He takes a nasty chunk there from one of our battleship teammates, and he turns to angle toward them. His guns are pointed this way, so we immediately began to turn away and angle, making ourselves a much smaller and less attractive target for him, and he finally decides that he's not going to shoot at us at all. Instead, he's going to sail for this island, which is just as well. For me, it means he's going to break line of sight, and I should go unspotted. Plus, I can use the floaty shell characteristics of the gearing to continue to lob high explosive over that island and farm some damage off the Yamato's superstructure. Yamato does get behind the island, but he is also not long for this world. He takes a hefty chunk from, I think, that friendly battleship behind him, and he is in a hopeless crossfire at this point. Once he goes down, the Charlie cap will be completely clear, which is good for us. The enemy has a 2-cap advantage over our 1-cap advantage, and we would like to bring that up to parity. Also, does look like my team is pushing this side of the map. Seems like they're coming from west to east and intent on going south. So once we sweep into this cap and take it, we will be able to turn and engage the rest of the enemies. By the way, we've only lost 1 ship, and they have lost 4. So we do have a distinct advantage in ship count. But there goes a friendly battleship to a fire lit by a Suzuya, and the enemy team is starting to claw it back a little bit. Right now, it does seem like we are in a good position for a setup to win, but as you know, if you've played this game for long enough or followed this channel for long enough, things might look like they're going well, but the tables can turn pretty quickly. There's Chili Games over there, playing in sort of the center of the map. He clearly does not want to repeat the errors of the Yamato, the GK, and push into a part of the map so thoroughly controlled by his enemies, which is great for us. It means we're going to be able to get into this capture circle and take it. Note twist and track, or the radio positioning arc, at the sort of top center of the screen. It is pointing toward the right, and it may be that it is tracking Chile for us, and now it's almost pointing directly ahead. So we're paying attention to that. We may be able to use that information to launch torpedoes at Chile after we finish securing this cap. The enemy, in the meantime, has lost another ship. So it's 2 red destroyers and 1 red cruiser versus 2 blue battleships, 2 blue cruisers, and me, the final blue destroyer. Obviously, we have an absolute numbers advantage, but the enemy team does have a destroyer advantage. We decide to launch our torpedoes where twist and track is indicating after we secure the cap, and we do turn out a little bit. A Suzuya was last spotted over here, and wasn't sure if he was pushing in this way. Doesn't look like he actually was. And once again, we find ourselves with dual-purpose torps sailing downrange at, a rather leisurely speed. These torpedoes might catch the destroyer that is clearly over there, and I do believe that destroyer is Chili Games, or they might catch the Suzuya. They also might not catch anything at all, but if they don't, it won't be for the lack of range. That Suzuya is 13 kilometers away from us, but the torpedoes on the gearing, of course, have a rather outrageous 16-kilometer range, so they basically, in comparison to other torpedoes, go on for infinity. They are getting quite close to the Suzuya, and I can't remember if one actually tags him here. But I will tell you that after this battle was over, Chile said that one of these torpedoes, I think the one furthest to the right of the screen maybe, I can't remember which one he said, but one of them came within only a couple feet of hitting him in the Kleber and taking him down, which, when he told me that, is something I found immensely satisfying, since I was trying to use twist and track to aim at him, and it turns out that I do, in fact, kind of know what I'm doing with that, so that's always good. Anyway, the Suzuya is getting close to us, and this is a quick cruiser. He can gain ground on us pretty quickly if we aren't careful, so we do want to turn away. The torpedoes are 20 seconds away from being reloaded, and we do want to try to shoot more torpedoes at the Suzuya. He is in a place where he's sort of blocking our ability to enter the last remaining enemy cap. Looks like our teammates have flipped Alpha over there on the other side of the map, and the Suzuya appears to be turning away. It looks like he's in a fight with a battleship, I think. We're going to launch some torpedoes at him. They have a lot less distance to travel now, and there's Chile, considering opening fire on him, but he will very quickly be sailing out of our effective gun range, and there is the Suzuya behind us. But the Shimakaze appears, and this is an opportunity that we really don't want to squander. Taking a look back there at the Suzuya, after the Shimakaze goes dark, we are able to take him down with one torpedo. There's our second kill of the game, and that right there, I think, sort of seals the fate for the Reds, especially since we are able to acquire this Shimakaze again, and he stands absolutely no chance of winning a gunfight with us. There he goes for our third kill of the game. Now we can push into the Delta Cap, take it for ourselves, and it's just Chile versus 4 blue ships, easily able to avoid the Shima torpedoes. RNG provides us with a nice gearing-sized gap. Actually, you could probably fit about 2 or 3 gearings through that particular gap. Anyway, it would certainly be possible for Chile to kill all of us and win this game with a spectacular solo warrior medal. And I don't know, maybe some of you watching are pulling for him to do that, but even though it is possible, it is also unlikely. Low health Chapayev out there, though. If there's one thing that I learned very quickly while playing the Kleber myself, it's that lightly armored cruisers like the Chapayev are not safe at all, especially when they're on such low health. I don't know if you caught Spartan Elite 43's recent video in the Chapayev, where his team unfortunately swept mine in a crushing defeat, but I did Citadel him in his Chapayev with the Kleber, and as you can see, seems like Chile Games Citadeled that Chapayev there and took him out. I'm not going to exit this cap and pursue Chile any further. There's no real reason to push into him and give him any kind of advantage as far as being able to take me down. The same goes for the rest of my teammates, who probably also shouldn't push into him. It's very dangerous to push into a destroyer with 12 torpedoes that rip through the water at 75, 79 knots. I don't know how Chile builds the Kleber, but in either case, the torpedoes are extremely fast screamer torpedoes, and they do a lot of damage. He is, it looks like, shooting at the Alaska in open water, probably because his torpedoes there missed, and at this point, he really has nothing left to lose. Now we would like to approach Chile and try to engage him, potentially get a 4th kill, and finish this game with style. But Kleber is very fast, and the points are quickly approaching the 1,000 point mark, so we're probably not really going to make it there. In any case, good battle. I think Chile and I both played quite well. Just so happened that I was able to come out on top, and I think you can draw an important lesson from this battle, which is, if you do come across a community contributor that you like, or maybe that you hate, in battle in World of Warships Legends, then you shouldn't go out of your way to try to engage them. Had I done that here, there's no way we would have won. Instead, I did what I was supposed to do. I played the caps, I countered the other enemy destroyers, and what do you know, we come out on top with, I think, a pretty well-earned victory in the USS Gearing. So, hope you enjoyed the video. If so, give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching. And also, if you haven't, you might want to check out Chili Games' channel as well. With that, I will see you next time. Goodbye.